Obviously, you like the way I walk. That's very nice. What?
Coat. They like that coat.
It's a... When you wear a coat like this, your voice, you go much deeper. Hi, do you like the coat? So nobody thinks. Boy, you are good tonight. Thank you for coming. I'll tell you, Friday nights we look forward to. Because something happens on... Last night we had... No, they weren't. It was a low-class audience. I hate to say that. The kind of group would go to the opera and hang a banner over the balcony that says, Fresno loves Placido Domingo. I've seen an audience like that. A kind of group that would go to the Sizzler and eat the tinfoil on the baked potato. But obviously you are not of that ilk. Hello, Tom.
How are you?
You met Tommy Newsom? Tommy from Canada? Wow. Sounds like a fan club to me.
Sounds like a good sign to me.
Yeah. Now, from time to time, I often recommend things to do when you're on vacation. And I mentioned Burbank, because Burbank is a nice city, and there are lots of great things to do out here. So come on now. For example, right after the show, if you're hungry, you can go on Burbank's famed Restaurant Row. They opened a brand new French restaurant, Roberto's Cuisine and Smog Check. Instead of a wine list, the waiter comes over and you smell his breath. I was there the other night. I said to the waiter, the waiter said, "Will you be having dessert tonight?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Down, join me." You know the show that's catching on? I've got hooked on it. People's Court. Oh, yeah. You ever watch People's Court? That's making a big statement. I drove by Burger King today. They have a new special called the Big Whopner. Iffy, huh? Okay, how many have been watching the new fall television shows? Be honest. A lot of action shows, a lot of police shows, adventure shows with a lot of machinery. Have you noticed? How many of you seen the show called Airwolf? All right. NBC is just starting a new one next week called Lawn Wolf. It's about a guy named Juan with a high-tech leaf blower. I wonder who invented the leaf blower and why. Nobody uses a rake anymore. No. You ever seen these guys in town, these gardeners? Be one leaf, and they bring out a 90-power... Anyway, if you're on vacation, Disneyland is still open. But, as you probably know, there's a strike at Disneyland, and they have a picket line out there, which is hysterical at Disneyland. Snow White's a little bugged. I almost said something else. But she wants to know where the union was when she was negotiating, house cleaning for 16 hours a day for those 7 shrimps. She's really put out. Now, you know that labor disputes both tend to exaggerate. The problem is the union is at a disadvantage. Pinocchio is on their negotiating team. That's what you call kind of a wave joke. Somebody over goes, "Oh." Ripples along. They may go into court. I understand if they do, Donald Duck may wear a tie and pants for the first time. Did you ever know Donald Duck has no pants? He just wears the top part. How many of you knew that Donald Duck did not wear pants? Well, let's see what's happening back in Washington. As you know, Foreign Minister Andrei Gromyko was here from Russia, and you see him at the UN yesterday? He was in a cranky mood. Yeah, he blamed us for everything. I think he went too far when he said that the U.S. gave Andropov his cold. And after the speech, maybe we ought to get off of Andropov and his cold. You can take that so far, then get off it. And after the speech, Gromyko met with him. He met with... I'll get it. He met with Walter Mondale. Gromyko does not laugh much, but he actually smiled because Mondale told him a dynamite joke. And here's the joke that he told Andre Gromyko. Mondale said, you know, there was an article in the New York Times yesterday about fads, things that are in and things that are now out. And one of the things that is out, Mondale said, is sushi. And Mondale said, and just when I learned how to cook it. Okay. You're right if it sounds familiar. I've done that joke the last 3 nights, and it never got much of a laugh. I thought if I gave it to Mondale, maybe... Well, we'll see Monday. That's gonna stick with us a while. Mondale accused Reagan of organizing the hecklers that Mondale has been getting when he goes out to campaign. There might be a little truth to that. I understand Mondale was speaking today, and a man with dark glasses yelled out, well, go soak your head. Anyway, the polls are not too favorable for Walter. They show if the election were held today, Mondale would lose to Tommy Newsom. Anyway, you're in a good mood. We got a great show later on. Tommy Lasorda will be out here and blame Jimmy Carter for the Dodgers' disastrous season. We also have a lovely lady who was in the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Miss Kate Capshaw is with us tonight. Very funny. Very funny young comedian by the name of Bobby Kelton is with us tonight. Young actor who is one of the stars of a good television show called St. Elsewhere. His name is Ed Begley Jr. And as an extra added attraction, one of the great jazz pianists working today of our own orchestra, Mr. Ross Tompkins, and his group will play. So stay where you are, and we'll be right back. Thank you. We were having a little discussion with the studio audience here, and there seemed to be some confusion.
A great deal of confusion.
I think mainly on my part, about the Tonight Show. Somebody says, how come you're not on Monday? And I said, well, we are on Monday, but this coming Monday, October the 1st, is our 22nd anniversary, and that will be our... Thank you. And we will do a, what they say, a prime time show from the hours of 9 to 11 o'clock. That's both here in California and the East and in the Midwest.
8 Central.
8 to 10 Central. And in Guam...
The following Wednesday.
Yeah. But anyway, it's 9 to 11, and we got a lot of great moments on the show. Some new stuff that we have not shown on anniversary shows, all from the past year. And Jimmy Stewart's on the show with Robin Williams, Julio Iglesias, Shelley.
Plus, one of our highlights.
What?
You doing Willie Nelson.
Yes, we sing together. Yeah. Doing To All the Girls We've Loved Before. Shelley Winters. Yes, you're right there. Buddy Hackett, Albert Brooks, Red Skelton, Charles Grodin, Howie Mandel, Betty White, and a lot of the sketches and silly stuff. So we hope you will be with us on Monday night. Now, anything else I want to bring up?
That's it.
Seemed like what was I forgetting? Oh, the sushi joke. People were a little confused. I talked to somebody after last night's show, and they said, you know that joke you did about not learning to cook sushi? Where have I heard that before? I says it might have been Wednesday. Right. We did it Wednesday. Didn't get much Wednesday.
No.
Last night it played great.
Yeah.
I thought maybe if I switched it tonight and gave it to Walter.
Try it again Monday night. On the anniversary show, it might work.
Just a horse they might go for.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of the most popular staples of television, as you probably know, folks, is the daytime soap opera. That's true.
They know already.
And we think we have right here in our studio audience the heroes and heroines who could star in such a show. So I must point out, unbeknownst to them, folks, we now journey to our mythical town of Sludge Falls as we present members of our studio audience live. Yes. All right, simmer down. Simmer down, folks. Okay. We present them live in the late-night soap opera, The Edge of Wetness. This is Simon Legreedy, the richest man in Sludge Falls. Simon is so cheap that the entire outfit you see him wearing costs less than the burial service for an ant, including a tiny headstone. On his 25th wedding anniversary, Simon celebrated by showing his wife a snapshot of a restaurant. Simon would like to inspect the Krugerrands of this woman. Yes, there she is, the worst cook in Sludge Falls, Lorraine Tomaine. Lorraine is currently writing a cookbook entitled 100 Ways to Prepare Grease. The fumes from her kitchen are so bad, last week the mice boarded up their holes. Lorraine's dream is to burn the biscuits of this man. Yes, there he is, Murray Worry, the most nervous guy in Sludge Falls. When Murray goes to the ocean to watch the sunset, he worries that when the sun goes down, it will squash his sailboat. When his bathtub drain gurgles, Murray gives it mouth to mouth. Murray once had an anxiety attack over this woman. Yes, you all know and love her, Edwina Wiener, the owner of Sludge Falls meatpacking plant. At her wedding, Edwina threw a bouquet of Spam. Edwina has some very strange ideas. She thinks squirrels walk on all fours because they have low self-esteem. She once marinated the meat of this man. Yes, there he is, Sludge Falls' leading heavyweight boxer, K.O. Pectate. That's him, folks. You remember him, great athlete. K.O. patterned his boxing style by studying films of his hero, Rocky Marciano. Unfortunately, the films he studied were taken after Marciano's death. Just before his last fight, K.O. had to get on the scales for a weigh-in. Knowing he would be 15 pounds overweight, he made himself lighter by jamming 2 homing pigeons into his trunks. K.O. would like to go the distance with this woman, Henrietta Kissinger, Sludge Falls ambassador to the UN. Henrietta feels that the UN is the most important way to keep world peace other than putting Colonel Gaddafi in a thermos bottle. She feels that the United States has become too isolated, so she wants to invite Asia over for a slumber party. Henrietta would like to ship wheat to this man. There he is, Rolly Hills, the town drunk. Yes, to Rolly, a balanced meal is guzzling a beer truck and eating a Clydesdale. When Rolly is drinking, anything can happen. This morning, he woke up in bed under a pile of puppet clothing. That's weird. His goal is to top the pop of this woman. Yes, there she is, the quiet, well-mannered Bertha Control. Yes. Bertha runs a Planned Parenthood clinic for animals. She recently organized a group of celibate chickens called No-Peck. Bertha feels strongly that the thoroughbreds in stud farms should have to pay for it like everyone else. She longs to expand the hat band of this man. Yes, there he is. The worst heart surgeon in Sludge Falls, Dr. Christian Barnyard. Dr. Barnyard enjoys scaring patients by walking into the emergency room wearing a miner's helmet. He believes soon we will be able to travel in time. That's why in his garage he's... There you see an immediate emergency surgery on the doctor himself. He believes soon he'll be able to travel back in time. That's why in his garage he's assembling a huge rubber glove so he can examine a dinosaur. He once steamed up the windows of this woman. Yes, Sludge Falls' Jewish grandmother, Golda Locks. Golda fills her car's gas tank with chicken soup. It doesn't run, but it hasn't had a cold in 18 years. She feels that no girl is ready to get married until she can cook, sew, and nag a housefly to death. And that concludes tonight's episode of The Edge of Wetness. folks.
What good sports.
What good sport. Your check will be in the mail soon. Anyway, if you just joined us, Kate Capshaw is here, Bobby Kelton, Ed Begley Jr., and Ross Tompkins. And we'll be right back after this message about something fresh and hot from Pillsbury. Our first visitor tonight. I'm tired of saying guest. I thought I'd
Visitor.
give the show a little freshness. My first visitor tonight, she's a pretty gal, very talented actress who was co-starred in one of the world's, one of the world's biggest box office grossers in the past year, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Did you see that?
I have not yet.
You should see it. It's like a long serial that you want to do as a kid, but I mean, with a lot of things going on. Her latest film is called Windy City. I suppose that's about Chicago. Well, we'll find out. It'll be opening soon around the country. Would you welcome Kate Capshaw? Your hands are freezing.
But I have a warm heart.
A warm heart, yes. A green room gets a little cold sometimes.
Yes. Happy anniversary to you.
Oh, thank you very much. That's nice.
Monday is
October 1.
20.
We finished 22 years.
2 years.
Yeah. That's a long haul on television, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to ask how old you are. How old? Well, you're very
How
young.
long
so,
have I-
so you wouldn't mind answering it. You were a very young girl when we started the show, weren't you?
Yes, I was in second grade, third grade.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
boy. Oh.
That puts it in perspective.
Yeah.
That really puts it. You were.
My parents came here when I was about 10. They came to New York City
Right.
just to see this show.
Is that right?
And they sat in the audience, and you were doing those things where while people stood online, they filled out a little postcard and
Right.
they asked you a
Questions,
question,
yeah.
and then you picked the question, and you had been doing this psychic thing, and my mother knew
Right.
that you were very fascinated, so she wrote, I will just be beaming this idea that you will pick my card, and you picked her card. Of course, we were at home around the television, and you said, Beverly Nail. And she went, ah!
And they took her away, and you haven't seen
They
Mother
took her
since.
away, and I
That's fascinating. When you put it in perspective like that. We had a funny question about 2 weeks ago. We were answering questions from the audience. And some young lady happened to be born the night that we started this show. That was
During
her,
the show.
During the show.
Yeah.
When,
well, they're
our
talking
very,
about kids being conceived during
And her question was, she says, she says that her question was, I was born the night you went on, started the show. She says, does that mean when you leave the show, I'm going to die?
Uncle Wow, right?
So it puts in perspective.
Well, it puts some pressure on you, doesn't it?
No.
Keep the show going.
No, it's fun. I still love it. Somebody told me you were nervous last time you were here. Was it really?
I
didn't notice it.
Yeah, I was. The only people that really noticed it were the people who loved me, who knew that the minute I walked out, it was like an out-of-body experience. Because you said to me,
Have you ever had one of those? I've heard of it. What does that mean, an out-of-body experience?
yes, when I was on your show the first time.
I've
It's
had
when
I've had an
when you-
out-of-pocket experience, but I've never had an out-of-body.
It's when you're not here.
It's very similar. It's a very similar experience. Yeah, it's like you're somewhere, you've walked out of yourself,
left,
and you're
yes.
observing yourself.
Right. You said to me, so Kate, how does it feel to be in such a big movie? And I felt like I just settled in, and I went, movie? I had no idea what you were talking about. I didn't know what movie you were talking about. I didn't know I'd been in a movie. All I wanted to do was like jump out of this seat, go into the audience and go, I'm on the Johnny Carson show.
Oh, that's people don't understand that sometimes. You can actually feel that you're observing somebody else,
Yeah.
and you're not really here. Well, how do you feel tonight?
Well, I think I'm here.
You are here.
Yeah.
I can vouch for
I
that.
got here. Yeah.
Yeah. The success of that picture, did I ask you when you were here before if it changed you at all? I mean, changed your career? I assume for the good.
Oh, has it changed my career? Well,
It was so successful.
yeah. It doesn't seem to have changed anything, John.
Oh.
You know, it's the most that happens is where are the violins?
Yes.
Suddenly that felt like a violin. No, the only thing that is
You think
people
because-
don't recognize me.
You think because the effects of the thing were so overpowering that you kind of got lost in the picture itself?
right, I was like just a blonde bubblehead,
Yeah.
a screaming blonde bubblehead.
Yeah. You screamed good,
screamed a
though.
lot,
You screamed
yes.
good. Did you do all those yourself?
I did all the screaming myself, and in fact, wouldn't you?
Some girls are not good screamers. No.
That's right.
They hire people to actually dub in sometimes those kind of things.
I did my own screaming, I'm proud to say.
Good. You must be very proud of that. That's good. I couldn't scream like that.
Very proud.
Your own screaming. We have to take a break here, but we're going to return here. Yes, we are. Okay. We're back. We're talking with Kate Capshaw. You've had how many movies this past year? 3 or 4 in the past year?
This will be the 4th.
Yeah, that's
That's
a lot of pictures in one year, isn't it?
Yes.
You like reading about yourself? I mean, all that much?
Oh, well, the thing that's most like is when I was in high school, there was this thing called the slam book.
Oh, I remember those.
Do you remember those?
Yeah, it was your graduation book? Oh, you
Oh,
lived
no, it was,
I know
well,
what you're
God, it
talking
was
about.
awful. It was like some sick individual put together, you know, pages upon pages with your name and everyone else's name, and then it got passed around secretly in this underground circuit, and people wrote whatever they wanted. So you were either, you know, big C with cute, cock, cool thing there, or it was she's conceited, or, you know, it's like all the good and all the bad, and it would come your way, and you would say, no, I'm not going to read it, and you'd go.
Of course you want to read it.
Yes, of course, all of it. So it feels a little like that. I get to read some good things, and I get to read some bad
Do
things.
you get depressed when you read bad things?
I do get depressed, and then I call my friend, and I say, I'm depressed. They've said this awful thing about me, and I'm, you know, sometimes I'm really upset, and sometimes I'm making jokes. She says to me, she says, well, do what I do. And I said, well, what do you do? And she goes, I do my Johnny Carson interview. I said, what do you mean you do your Johnny Carson interview? She said, well, like, for instance, today, I went down and I had an audition, and it went awful. And I got on my bicycle, and I started my Johnny Carson interview, and he was laughing, and he thought I was funny, and I was pretty, and he flirted with me, and the audience clapped, and then by the time I got to 56th Street, I was a star again.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
That's very complimentary.
Yeah, I thought so too. So I thought that maybe tonight I would get you to laugh, flirt with me.
Yeah. Do you flirt? Are you a flirt? Can you flirt? Can you flirt well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I flirt. Well, what do you think? I mean, Johnny.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a little flirty eyes.
Little twinkle.
Kind of mask.
How about you? Are you,
Ooh, I don't think I'm too good at it. Yeah.
But you flirt.
Every time I do it, I get in trouble. Never mind that. Now, this film clip we're going to see is from Windy City.
Windy
That's about
City.
Chicago, obviously.
Yeah.
All right. What's it about? I have no idea.
Oh, it's about love and friendship and
Those are nice things.
hope.
Good.
It's a love story.
Those are all good. Does this little scene need any,
This is the
Setting up?
scene that's well. This is the leading lady with the leading man on their first date.
Oh, I see you were playing an actress in this.
No.
Oh.
No. I play a girl named Emily, and
Yeah.
John Shea plays a boy named Danny.
All right.
So Danny and Emily have met, and this is their first date.
Oh, I see. Okay, here's a little excerpt from the Windy City.
Funny. Funny guy.
Well, you think I'm funny?
Yeah. You should write some of this stuff down.
Well, I do. I'm a writer.
I thought you were a mailman.
Yeah, well, poor writers pay the rent by being mailmen, and cab drivers, and fortune tellers, and bartenders.
Oh. Fortune tellers.
Yeah,
You want to read my fortune?
sure. Yeah. Come on, here we go. This is very
Oh,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, tell me. What do you see?
All right, here. It's going to rain on your wedding day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And what's the weather going to be like on your wedding day?
Ah, well, I don't know, because you can't tell your own fortune.
Oh, I see. Well, then let me tell it for you.
All right.
Oh, there you are. Right there. Modern man, face to face with himself. A little lost, a little lonely. Big hurry. He's He's lost his heart and romance is dead.
Hey, excuse me. You sure that's me?
Yeah. Yeah, all you guys. What happened to courtship? I mean, please, dear God, there's got to be some old-fashioned men out there. Some people who want to take their time. Eat a little ice cream. Watch the Late Late Show.
Yeah, excuse me, waiter, can we have some ice cream here, please? We have a TV set. This girl to go.
I would only find... It's a nice scene. I would only have one criticism of that.
Uh-oh, what?
Eat ice cream and watch The Tonight Show rather than the late. Could have thrown that in just as easy.
I could have. Next time.
Yeah. That's kind of sweet. Yeah. None of my first dates went that way.
No? No ice cream?
No ice cream.
No.
Grope City, you know. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Grope City?
Grope City. Bobby Kelton's here tonight. He's a very funny gentleman. He's originally from New York. He's going on tour, and he opens for Tom Jones October the 3rd in San Antonio, Texas, and Jackson, Mississippi, October the 9th. And he's also going to be on the bill with Eddie Rabbitt and Tammy Wynette at Harvest in Lake Tahoe starting November the 2nd. Would you welcome Bobby Kelton?
Hi, how are you tonight? I thought so. I want to take a little survey. How many single people do we have here tonight? Single people. Everybody. How many married people? How many are not quite sure? Okay, think about it. I'll get back to you, okay? Out of you folks, whether you're single or married, actually, don't you feel uncomfortable when you see a couple being overly affectionate in public? You know, don't you just want to go up to them and go, "Excuse me, would you mind if I joined you? It's been so long." You see, dating is very difficult. I was with a girl recently. We went to a movie. On the way home from the movie, I was driving her back to her house. In the car, out of nowhere, she turns to me. She says, "I do not go all the way." So I dropped her off at the bus station. You know, every morning I get up, and while I'm in the shower, I say to myself, "Thank God I took Spanish in high school." It comes in handier every day. I was with a girl, we were in a Mexican restaurant, and the waiter was very angry, started yelling at me, "Mañana caramba caraca sacramente." And I turned to her, I said, "I can handle this, I took Spanish in high school." I yelled at him, "Hola, Isabel, ¿cómo estás?" I put that guy away. It means, "Hello, Isabel, how are you?" He was confused, he never took high school Spanish. I myself am very confused. A couple of months ago, at the same time, I was going to Evelyn Wood's speed reading and the Schick Center for the Control of Smoking. I got up to 3,000 packs a day. It's my own fault. You know, there's certain things I wonder about my whole life. Now, do you know what earmuffs are? How many of you from back east know what earmuffs are? You willing to take over? One thing I could never figure out about earmuffs, the soft, comfortable, furry part was on the outside, and the metal spike that went through your brain was on the inside. I'm just glad they don't make underwear like that. I get confused when I see people with no sense of humor. That makes sense, me being a comedian. Like the police. They don't laugh if you sneak up behind them and jokingly pull the gun out of their holster. You ever see a cop on the side of the road, he's giving somebody a ticket, and you just want to drive up, get out of your car, and go, "Well, what seems to be the problem here, officer?" What are they going to do? You ever have to take the drunk test, the sobriety test? They make you do things Olympic gymnasts can't do. I can't do this when I'm sober, you know? The cop's telling me to go like this. I said, "Wait a second. Before I do this, let me see you do this." He couldn't do it, so I arrested him. Now, have you ever been driving along, you look in the mirror, and there's a cop driving behind you? You get so paranoid, you start acting like you're taking your driver's test. 2 hands on the wheel, 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. You know, you're trying to hand signal. You've never done this before in your life. You got the radio tuned to your local Christian station. Then you feel like a jerk when you see that it's only a car with a ski rack behind you. Now, I think they should use cops to enforce diets. Because Americans have no discipline. You start a diet one day, you drop it 3 hours later. They should forget about diets. Make everybody get an eater's license, kind of like a driver's license. You eat too much, you get a ticket. 3 tickets, you lose your license, you can't eat for a year. And the restaurants will have cops, like a diet squad. If you're eating too much, cop comes over. All right, Tubby, let's go. Drop your fork and come out with your tongue up. You know, a lot of people don't know whether they should go on a diet, and I have some tips. You know you should go on a diet if you get to the top of a Ferris wheel and it starts going backwards. Or if you go into a restaurant by yourself and the hostess says, "Would you like a booth?" Or if you're on top of your lover and a referee comes in and yells "pin" and raises your arm. You know, they have these weight reduction clinics all over. I went by one. They had a big sign on it. It said, "Lose ugly fat." You ever see that? That's how Americans think, that all fat is ugly, right? For example, say you owned a blob of fat. Everybody would say, "Get that out of here." However, if you take that blob and you put a on it, all of a sudden, everybody wants to touch it. In fact, they want 2 of them. Well, can you imagine if the woman's breast was not considered aesthetic? You know, if it was just ugly fat, and a couple of guys, "Hey, how was your date?" "Well, her face was okay, but I had to put a paper bag over those ugly blobs." Now, while you're thinking about that, did you ever get on an elevator with an obese person and you instinctively look at the capacity sign? It's like 2,000. Honey, you gotta go. Don't you think as long as they have a capacity sign, they should put a scale on the elevator? You get on, everybody sees that needle. Maybe you hear a voice. "Attention all elevator passengers, there's a moose on the loose." Thank you.
My next guest is one of the stars of a very good television show called St. Elsewhere, which is on this network on Wednesday nights at 10 o'clock. And Ed was nominated for an Emmy this year, and deservedly so. Would you welcome Ed Begley, Jr.? Good to see you. Congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you very much.
Didn't walk off with it, but what's the difference? I'd say.
No, I'll be fine. Tears of joy. No, I'm really very happy for the guy who did win.
Yeah. They always say that, don't they? It's just enough to be nominated among your peers. Yeah. I hope the other guy dies before he gets on stage. Anyway, that's
It was
nice.
fun. It was an honor to be nominated. It really was.
Yeah, good for you. Did we talk a little bit about, last time you were here, about you used to be, we got into that, a stand-up comic.
Yeah, I had one of the worst acts of the 1970s.
You mentioned it was a rather bizarre act.
I played very small clubs out in the boonies. I didn't play a lot of big clubs.
Why did you decide to do that? I mean,
I don't know. I'm really wondering. I think it was a big mistake.
I mean, did your friend say, "Hey, Ed, you're really kind of funny. You ought to go out and..."
Yeah, everybody says that. People want to tell you what you want to hear. You know, "Hey, you're funny. The guy's funny who's, you know, the Tool and Die Company. Get up there. You should do an act." And I was one of those guys, I think. I played clubs in the sticks. I mean, I got reviewed by Field and Stream much of the time. One of those, you know.
What did you do? What kind of stuff? I don't actually require actual jokes, but...
I had a couple of things. I had this one routine where I played my body. I had this guy called Bernie Synapse, who was a rock musician. He was inspired by some of the acts that I would warm up for, and he played his body. It was a sick piece of material.
Played your body?
Yeah. I don't think I should go into the details here.
No,
should
I don't think
no,
so.
I probably shouldn't.
Did you have costume for this, or did you just dress normal? Or?
No, I would, I had wigs and stuff. I would go in back to where I had a trunk and I would put things on, and it was pretty humiliating in retrospect.
When did you decide this was not for you? There's nothing worse when you're standing in one in front of a small, and you're dying.
It's a nightmare.
Because there's no place to go.
No place to go. It's like wrestling with a bear up there. You just, it's unbelievable. I think, I just had enough by about 1978. I had enough. So I really respect the guys that do it now, because I did it for a while with some success, but finally I got tired of it.
When you grew up, your father, of course, who was both in motion pictures and the theater, where were you? Did you grow up here? Did you grow up in New York?
I was bi-coastal, even from the 50s on. I was an early bi-coastal, a very trendy kid. Because he'd be doing plays, and then he'd do a film or TV show, so I was back and forth, and it was very hard for me because back in the 60s, during those critical teen years, to have a New York accent, to be very pale, there's a surfer era, and to be pale, you go to the beach, people say, hey, you should take your T-shirt off, and I'd already taken it off. You're very white. But the surfers, they were very helpful, I mean, I wanted to surf, and they would take me out on the board and paddle me out a ways, and I'd swim back to shore. The only trouble I had was getting out of the sack. That was the big problem. They were less than kind sometimes.
St. Elsewhere is going very well. It's critically, it's gotten a lot of reviews. You ever spend any time in a real hospital at all?
I did. I had the misfortune of being in a hospital several times, and it's even worse than depicted on our show. Our show gets kind of grim sometimes, but this is like, they do things that are unbelievable. They do, I had the misfortune of having a collapsed lung. And I don't mean to frighten anybody who needs to have this done, but if you have a collapsed lung, leave it collapsed. Don't No, you, of course, see a doctor and do what you have to, but I mean, it was terrible. They've changed.
You don't need too long, right?
They've changed it now, I hope, but they used to take a number 7 wood carving tool and get up in your chest and like this, and they'd carve your new nostril, and I think they've simplified it a bit now. But this was 72. It's like, where's the anesthetic, don't you? And they wouldn't put you out. Then I had a fractured femur, and okay, we've got to do a thing with your leg. What? Well, we got to drill a hole. I said, okay, give me the gas and the mask. No. They drilled a hole.
What do you mean, no?
They wouldn't put me out. It was like Gone with the Wind. Tell you the truth. They drilled with a hand drill, not even a power drill, Johnny. They took a hand drill, I swear to you. Huntington, Hartford, Huntington Memorial.
Obviously an underfinanced hospital.
I guess so. They had a hand drill with a leg.
I don't understand. Did they give you nothing for that?
They gave me, in all fairness, they gave me some sort of sedative or something, a mild thing for Seconal. I don't know what it was. But it didn't work. They were drilling through my leg.
Well, you seem in good health now.
Yeah, I feel pretty good now.
Now, somebody told me when they make notes on people, they give me little things to talk about with you, that you are a trivia expert.
Well, I don't know about an expert.
Well, that's what they told me.
I'm very good at the game Trivial Pursuit. I'm a big.
That's what we heard.
Oh no. Big mouth. Yes.
We haven't set this up or anything. There are no order at all. Let me just take a card at random here.
Okay.
What categories do you like on this?
I'm pretty good at entertainment. I'm good at geography. Entertainment is my.
Well, this is too easy. This one.
Yeah, some of them.
Who played Brett Maverick?
Brett Maverick was Jim Garner.
You see, that's too easy for entertainment.
Maybe a geography. Or pick anyone you want.
Our geography is. What does a compass needle point to?
What is it? It points to magnetic north. That's right. We're getting the tough ones here.
That's right.
This is not a setup, folks.
This is not a setup. I want to. All right, this could be. Now you should know this.
Okay.
Who was the first American world chess champion?
Okay, now it was Boris Spassky and Bobby Fischer was the American, right? Bobby Fischer.
Bobby Fischer is right. All righty.
I haven't seen this man
This is not set up either.
I haven't seen this man.
All right, I'm going to give you a tough one here. What U.S. congressman said, "Keep the faith, baby"?
That would be Adam Clayton Powell.
You're right.
Very good.
All right. How many of an animal's legs must a cowboy tie in a calf roping contest?
That would be 3.
I know, Ed. He's taking the...
We're all good at these. Are kind of easy.
Here's a tough one. I wouldn't know this. What was the first James Bond film? The very first one?
Dr. No.
You're right. Have they set these up?
No.
Well, ask me one.
Yes, here we go. Let me get my glasses on. What do you like, entertainment, geography?
Sure.
Okay. Who portrayed Ugarte in Casablanca?
Peter Lorre.
Very good. One geography quickly. What country contains the largest ice field in Europe?
Switzerland.
Norway.
Norway. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. Okay. How much time?
A minute.
What 1954 film featured the line, "I could have been a contender"?
That would be with Marlon Brando and On the Waterfront.
You got it. You're good at this. Anyway, thanks for being here tonight. Good luck with the show. It's a fine show, and you're a real skilled actor there. And so are you, young lady.
Thank you.
We're only 8 years old when we started the show. I'm humbled by that applause.